wide focus, which was our inquiry goal, and we had the PTC. So we created a blog that has areas of responsibility. It has our own personal goals, and it has our school logo, which is our inquiry goal. We will have target students related to that. And then on the right hand side here are all the PTCs. They're all set up as labels, so when you create a piece of evidence, you label it like a tag in Facebook. So you say which criterion it fits, or whether it's a, and you see these numbers beside it, these here just does a correlation of how many pieces of evidence are on this. So we started this, we talked about with the management team, you know, what we wanted to do it, and then we created blogs for everyone. I think April, maybe beginning of April, May was when we started it. So we got someone to make all of our blogs in the same sort of framework, and then we have to get teachers used to the PTCs, RTCs now PTCs. We, you know, decided that in every teacher meeting and every team meeting, we would blog about one of the criteria. So we said to the teachers, today we're going to be blogging about criterion 1. These are, and we talked through some documents, these are some types of evidence for communication. Can you please come along, bring some evidence and be prepared to reflect on that. So that they, just for the first, probably for this year, I think we're going to support them in making it, and then next year we want them to be independent and be making their own blog post around whichever ones they relate to. But yeah, we just wanted to support them because they hadn't used Blogger before as well, so there's all of that kind of, what am I doing, how am I blogging. The other thing we did was we created a Google account called Blog Admin, and then we created those blogs all under that, so that we can still manage when teachers get stuck. We're able to go under Blog Admin and do them, and they are authors. Oh no, they are admins on it. But also we added your appraiser or your team leader as an admin to that blog. So I'm able to go on, and if I've seen something, the other day I saw a teacher who did some great work, so I was able to add a blog post on her blog, because I'm an author, and say this has been really good. We had a teacher that did some extra work for the Arts Festival, so under the criterion of showing leadership, I was able to add a post for her about that, and you know, just writing. So I can add evidence as well. The other thing is, as we've started, I think our next step is making sure their reflections are thorough and deep. And so another way, the fact that we are authors, we were able to go in and put some questions in there, which has been that's really handy. Like, well, we had some PD on Kahatia, and some of the teachers were kind of just saying what they liked about it, you know, like, and we were like, well, what does this mean for you? What are you going to do in your classroom? And we could add those questions on their blog, because we can edit the posts. So yeah, just under all the criteria, I'll just grab one. Sorry, show you this sort of thing. So under this is the communication one. This is my own blog. So I had put a post about using the new ETAP app for communicating with whānau. Some work we did sending home in the last meeting, sending home those ministry national standards documents, and yes, bicultural nature. So there was some Kahikatea reflections about partnerships. Big reflection that was. Talking about how to add macrons onto. So yeah, we just add the post. So basically, when you make a post, I'll just show you how. So you create a new post. You choose your posts, and you can add videos, inserting images, links, and then so for label, when you click label, we've added all the PTCs down there as a label. The only difficulty is because it's labels as the number of characters, and so some of the PTCs have lots of characters, so you can't link 2 of them all the time, but because sometimes it might fit into. I've done that once where I thought it really did fit both, so I just copied it and linked it to both. But so it just has the PTCs there. You click say I wanted 2, you just click 2, it goes into there. So it's set up as in the very first post for each of these is the label, and you can schedule as well. You can change, like if it was something you haven't had a time to blog for a couple of weeks, you can change the date. Otherwise, it goes in the day that you add the post. Which
so it doesn't look like you've done it all at once.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, for leadership, so I have, obviously I'm really passionate.
Tina, is this just one part of your appraisal? Or is this all the record of that you're praising the appraisers?
It's all on here because, like, for our inquiry, we have a separate inquiry document that we just link those in. So here's my school-wide goal, which is inquiry. So under here, school-wide inquiry, we just have the inquiry Google Doc linked in there. So it's one place that has all of the other documentation, has all the other
So you put all your hard conversations in there?
Yes, we have a recording at Google Doc
Okay.
for the recording.
Now going to the Education Council. If you weren't going to register someone because they didn't meet some criteria, how does that link into what they want?
We don't have to do that yet.
No, I just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Because they want the evidence, they
Yeah.
want to see all the transcripts or what conversations have gone before
Yeah.
and what sort of programs in place. If they're not meeting
Criterion, this,
in the registration.
Yeah, good question.
You can make things like if you had to have.
We have one teacher that actually has made hers. So when you set it up, there's 3 options of setting it up. There is non-searchable and private, and only the address is given to the person. We've got a teacher that, for security reasons, she doesn't, that. So we asked them all at the beginning, how would you like that? So I think if that was the case, I would just make that teacher's private.
Yeah.
So that, and then put this and make the documentation.
Or
private.
the document that you're linking, make that the
private.
rights. So you can see everything that they're doing, but when it comes to the actual, maybe a document that's the feedback form, that is it depends on whether you're
Because we have our feedback forms on there, But for someone like that, yeah, absolutely, I think that you'd have to change the settings at that.
If you had, say, a team leader appraising you, or an HOD in the senior end appraising, and they were recording, they'd just link their document onto that teacher's because they've got access. So you'd have all your paperwork pretty much there.
The principal has access to mine because she's my appraiser. The good thing was she actually, her goal for her principal's appraisal was she was creating a blog as well, so it's quite nice that we're all learning together. So she has a blog as well, and she did that last year. So then, it's nice that I think that we're all kind of doing it at the same time.
Had anyone not buy into it, or have they had to because it's?
They have to. You bring your laptop. You are blogging on. You are making a reflection on this. And the other thing I do, this is just me being anal, but I don't like a post without an image. It's just totally just something with me. So if we're having I will send them an image. Like if we're in a staff meeting, I'll just quickly take a photo and say to them, right, everyone, I've emailed you that photo. Now you can write your own reflection. So I help scaffold them with that. And then the night before the meeting, I will send say this is the PTC that we are doing today. We've got a great document from Learning with Digital Technologies about some examples of evidence that was digital, and we've got another one, I think it was one of the Education Council's one, which has another types of evidence that you can have. So we share those as well and say, look, under communication, these are some examples.
Does it ever come to a point with some teachers though that it's all a bit contrived, e.g. you're making them talk about an RTC then and there at that meeting, as opposed to
the ones that have really gone on board, they are blogging in between. They've run with it, and it's the tail. Yeah. It's the tail that are not.
But they're often probably the ones that when any appraisal system, they're probably lagging anyway, aren't they? Yeah. Regardless. So,
Is the reason that you chose to use Blogger as the tool instead of, because I've got my BTs doing these on sites, and so they're putting together a site. What was the thinking behind choosing Blogger?
It was just that the principal had started to do, we'd done some PD on Blogger, some teachers had some, it was something that was semi-familiar.
Yeah.
because some teachers are using this for their class blogs, so they've created
Right.
class blogs. Also, the smartphone element, Bloggers app is really cool because you can take a photo and you just straight on there, and then quite often teachers do that and then go and write the reflections when they get home, but because it's just, rather than having to email it to yourself to upload it onto your blog, from your phone you take the photo, you push one button, it goes onto your blog, and then you can go and edit and write your reflection later.
And does it roll over year on year?
Well, this is what we would hope,
Yeah.
because, 3 years of evidence,
Yeah.
this is what we would hope that this rolls over.
And so when teachers leave your school,
See, that I was talking about that with my husband, because if it comes up, you'd have to change the author to their
personal account.
personal account or
Yeah.
to their.
So they can keep up if
to
they want
their
to.
keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had anyone leave yet. But
And there's nothing around intellectual property rights in school and that when you do that?
no.
Well, you'd have to be careful, depends on what your
What's on
Creative
there.
Commons policy would say, because if
Oh,
you've got
that's
kids'
right,
work
you-
on there, or you've got,
If you had that policy in your board
Yeah,
that said
then
we
it-
allow
We
board
allow
owns
our,
it, yeah,
to be used for
Yes,
educational
yes.
purposes.
yeah,
yeah, then
for
it
it
would be,
without money.
Yeah. that's just that one sentence we were talking about, eh?
Yeah, I think, other than, so the PTCs was one element of it that we were doing the criteria, but it's a really great place for the areas of responsibility for people that are unit holders. We can actually see, what are they doing, they've got that evidence there as well.